What's up, y'all? Man, I gotta tell y'all, every time that I fucking get up out of my bed to come punch somebody else's fucking clock, I just think to myself, man, the road to self-employment is a long road, but it is a necessary road. I cannot do this shit anymore. Just me being me as a creative. Like, for all of y'all who don't know, I'm a writer. I like to write. There are 3 books that I'm working on right now. And of course, I like to do this YouTube shit. I like to entertain people. And it's just like, man, this 9 to 5 shit, this punching somebody else's goddamn clock is not for me for the rest of my life. I'm about to be 26 this year. And for me, every day that I realize I'm about to be 26, I realize I'm being closer and closer to 30. I damn near round that shit up sometimes. I'd be like, man, I'm 30. I'm getting old. I have goals I need to accomplish. And it's like, I have to accomplish these goddamn things. I'm like looking at everybody else, this 9 to 5 life and this sucky ass job market that is fucking Maryville, Indiana is not for me. It's just not for me. It's not for me to do for the rest of my life. So I'm trying to get my shit together as far as this YouTube thing, and I want to have something published in the next, if not this shit. Well, I want to have a book finished. Worry about publishing that shit later. As long as I'm able to say I have something finished, I have a finished product, I want to have that finished by the end of the year. So I have less than 6 months left to finish one of these fucking books. So that's a little update on that. I've been gone. Y'all know I'm always gone. I'm always gone, but I always come back. And I'm back to talk about fucking Basketball Wives episode 4. The first couple episodes is kind of just, you know, reintroducing us to all the women and what the fuck that they've been doing, and introducing these new hoes who I feel like are not gonna be here this next season. OG is fucking trash, and what I mean by trash is just me being a man and saying that she's trash. She's not fun to look at whatsoever. I do not enjoy looking at her, especially after that nasty ass bikini she had on at this weak ass birthday party. Like, bitch, what the fuck are you wearing? Why do your titties look like that? At first, I never really paid attention because I watched, a lot of times on Basketball Wives, I don't have cable, so I don't even watch the shit when it airs. I'll catch the shit on my iPhone later on, before hours after it went live on TV. So while I'm watching it, I'm listening to it more so on my phone while playing the game. So I miss a lot of shit, but I hear every fucking thing. And I'm listening to them talk about her. She got these slingshot titties. She got these guitar titties. So where like the titty up here, and then you hold it down here like a guitar. I'm hearing all of this shit. I'm like, I missed it. But on this episode, I seen it. I'm like, oh my God. These colors that you have on are fucking trash. Like, I feel like the darker you are, you need to have like some yellow, some brown, some green. You know, but that shit, that's the colors that she had on were more so for a light-skinned girl. That shit probably wouldn't even look good on Kristen. That shit probably would look best on, I don't even know, because it was just so fucking trash. Like, oh my God, bitch, what are you wearing? But anyway, yeah, like I said, she's not fun to look at. There were better bitches. They had better bitches on the show than her. Like, I'm surprised they didn't keep British. They didn't keep Megan from Bad Girls Club. They didn't keep Brandy. It's like so many better girls that they could have had on the show and be replacing them with OG. Like, she's trash. Kristen's kind of trash, but she looks a hell of a lot better than OG. I can't lie about that. Like, she looks really, really good. But she's kind of boring as fuck. And it's like, the way to stay on these shows is to either be like, you gotta have the right things to say all the time. Like, you gotta be witty, you gotta be clever, you gotta be funny, or your sarcasm gotta be through the roof. So if you're not about to be getting into no bang outs, no real drama, the very least we can say is that bitch knows what the fuck to say and when to say it. And Kristen don't even give me that. And I'm gonna just review this episode. I'm not gonna review the past couple episodes because it's too late now. But the way I'm gonna review this episode is the shit that I really don't give a fuck about, to the shit that I feel everybody gives a fuck about at the end. So OG and Kristen, they got into a little situation because OG literally just sat down talking about some weed, and Kristen's like, bitch, ain't no weed. You just got here. You don't know what the fuck going on. You don't know if anything was ignited. You don't know if anything was doused. You just got here, bitch. And you talking about some weed? Ain't no weed. So she's like, well, weed meaning, you know, we have like, Kristen's like, bitch, I don't need you to redefine or define weed for me. You weren't a part of what was going on. And she was right about that. And she's like, you know what, bitch? I don't have to be here. I don't have to argue with you. I'm about to go suck my husband's dick after we put our baby to sleep. And this bitch is like, oh, where's your husband? She's like, bitch, he's at home, my baby. Oh, how do you know? So, you know what, Kristen, like, she didn't have to go there, but bitch, you were being hostile. So when you be hostile, bitches are gonna respond hostile to you. That's just the way it is. So it wasn't no need in getting all butthurt about it. The bitch came for you. And you know what? You did the right thing. You got the fuck on, because you know this bitch would have just shoulder charged your ass into a fucking wall, and you would just been stuck in a wall asking us for help, and we would just kept watching. So them bitches got the fuck up out of here. Vashandia O'Neal, you know, anytime that bitch comes on my iPhone screen, I'm just like, look, fast forward to the good shit, because I don't give a fuck about this bitch. And since this bitch finally has her own show, and you could tell that this bitch wanted her own show from the beginning, but you can tell they were like, bitch, we don't feel like anybody's checking for you. Like, when we do the polls, you're the least favorite member of the show. Like, you're beneath Susie, so why would we give you a show doing what? Like, nobody wants to look at your overbite all fucking day. And she's like, you know what, you're right, let me just stick it out for a couple seasons. Like, yes, we are right. So after years of being on Basketball Wives, she finally got her own show. And I'm just like, look, there's no sense to pay this bitch 2 checks, especially to pay her for a show that nobody even cares that she's on to begin with. Get her off the show, take her ass over to her motherfucking spinoff, it'll get canceled, and then maybe we will let her back. Let that just be the plan set in motion, because nobody gives a fuck about Vashandia O'Neal. With that said, whenever that bitch came on the show, I fast the fuck forward. Now, Jen, I don't know if I feel that she's being messy this season, but one thing I can tell y'all is that Tammy feels that this bitch being messy, but I feel like what she's doing is what bitches just do on reality show to begin with. Like, it's always the same narrative. Let's all get together and see if we can resolve our issues. Let's go to a fake dinner. Let's go to a fake lunch. Let's go have fake drinks. Or let's just go to a fake event that one of us is hosting, but nobody else is at but the cast members of the show. Let's try to talk about our issues. Let's fight about it. Let's leave with nothing being resolved. So I don't know why Tammy just keeps saying that Jen is being messy when Tammy has before in the past done the same shit that she has done. So, or that Jen is doing. But whatever the case, she just ain't feeling it. Now, Jen is like, you know what, let me get Evelyn and Malaysia together and see if we can all be friends, because I really just want my friends to get along, because I'm going through so much with this psycho going to court, and I don't need any more stress in my life. You know, that's Jen's whole narrative. And she got Evelyn and Malaysia together, and they're like, you know what, we never even really had a problem with each other. It's just because I love Jackie and you hate Jackie. So this isn't going to work now that Jackie is in the picture. And I'm just so curious as how this is going to work, because when Jackie first of all, we all know Jackie is fucking retarded. So I don't know how this is going to work with Evelyn and Malaysia out filming scenes together, and Jackie on Instagram like, oh, Evelyn is trying me. Evelyn, first she's trying to come into my daughter's life. Now she's trying to come into my other daughter's life. Now she's trying to come into my friend's life. I feel like this bitch is attacking me, and she's not going to stop until I come at her like a motherfucking polar bear mauling an ostrich. You know, that's Jackie. So she's going to see this shit and she's going to be pissed. So I'm curious how that is going to work. But whatever the case, I felt like, personally, I wanted Evelyn and Malaysia to be, because I just felt like, you know, for people who don't know the history of the show, they will assume that Malaysia isn't about that. She's just like this prissy, quiet girl who's not really gonna pop off, and like Malaysia be like, no, you touch me, I'ma knock you the fuck out. If you fuck with my best friend, I'm gonna pull up in a motherfucking Victoria's Secret pink jogger set and beat your motherfucking ass. Like, that's Malaysia, you know what I mean? And a lot of people don't know that because they don't know the history of this show. So I wanted them to kind of get into it, you know, just so it can be another situation where Evelyn feel like she can punk somebody and then like end up getting her face blew out. But whatever the case, they're gonna be cool. Now, and it's looking like Tammy is not gonna be the one to blow Evelyn's face out either. So it's like I can just forget about all of that. And then you know what? I should just give Evelyn a break because she's not trying to bully anybody on. Well, she's not trying to bully anybody else on the show anymore. She's like beyond that, and apparently Tammy is beyond that either. I guess I don't even know what we're here for. Like, to be honest, I don't know what we're here for. Let's just, I mean, it's looking like Tammy and Evelyn are gonna continue to go at it. So let's just start reviewing that shit. So here's what it is. So Tammy has a comedy show, and at that comedy show, she was talking shit about all her castmates. Like, she even talked shit about Malaysia, you know, calling her dumb, whatever the case may be. Which I don't know where they get that from, because Malaysia's not dumb. Like, she's never been like Portia from Real Housewives of Atlanta, so I don't know how she got the stigma of just being a dumb bitch in a clique. But whatever the case, she was making dumb jokes, and she made whole jokes a reference to Evelyn, and she was a little annoyed that Shaunie was not laughing, and then was in turn annoyed even more when she found out that Vashandia was laughing at Evelyn's jokes about her. Now, here's just my take on it. Because I'm like, bitch, Tammy, it may not even be that deep as you're trying to make it, bitch. It could, like, okay, maybe, like, she's looking at it from the perspective that, oh, Vashandia ain't laughing at my joke, she laughing at this bitch joke, so clearly she on this bitch side more than she on my side. I'm like, bitch, well, maybe it could have been that your jokes just wasn't funny. Like, the jokes that you had about Evelyn weren't funny, but the jokes that Evelyn had about you were funny. Because when Evelyn said to your face that she had a busted ass wig and a fanny pack, and I'm like, what fanny pack is she talking about? I don't remember seeing Tammy with no fanny pack. Well, maybe, well, look, I wasn't there. I didn't meet the bitch myself, so maybe she did. And when she said that, like, that, because Evelyn, like, got into character, like, when she was impersonating your ass. And then she was doing your walk. You weren't really doing, like, no impersonations. You was just up on there saying jokes that maybe Vashandia naturally didn't find funny. It may not have been like, oh, I'm not going to laugh just because you're talking about Evelyn. She could have been like, okay, that's corny, Tammy. You could have came a little harder. And one thing about it that I felt like Tammy's whole narrative changed. One minute she's like, oh, Vashandia is being fake, to the next minute, like, well, just laugh whenever I talk about her. Like, that's not the same tone that you were singing earlier, but whatever the case may be, you don't want to beef with the producer of the show, I guess. Y'all remember when they was kind of beefing on season 5? Or 4? Whatever the fuck season was. I think it was season 5. No, I think it was 4, because Royce wasn't there. When they was kind of beefing, and Vashandia was telling Tammy to grow up and shut up, and Tammy was like, oh, Vashandia got balls now, but then all of a sudden that beef was just like unspoken, forgotten about. I don't forget shit. Like I said, I know the history of these bitches on this show. But anyway, so maybe it just wasn't funny, Tammy. Like, you can't get mad at somebody for not laughing if the shit really ain't funny. Now, granted, Vashandia had ample opportunity to say, you know, bitch, I really ain't find that shit funny. And it wasn't because she was talking about Evelyn, it was just a corny ass joke. It could have been that, but she didn't say that. So maybe Vashandia is being a fake ass bitch. Vashandia always has been a fake ass bitch. But it's crazy to me that everyone else on the show is oblivious to it, but the viewer's like, okay, clearly y'all biased as fuck. Like, the same way, Tammy, you're accusing Vashandia of being biased, we all know that she's biased as fuck. Well, with that being said, so after she confronted her ass about that, you know, Tammy and Evelyn, that was after the fact that them two hoes had confronted each other about it. And I'm just like, it's really petty, because Evelyn's like, you know what, she just don't want nobody to laugh at her at all. And I feel like that's the same shit. And I just feel like, Tammy, I don't even know how you get upset, because you were talking shit about Evelyn last season before Evelyn even said anything negative about you. You made the 3 different player associations jokes. You were saying she was the same bitch. You talked about her show being canceled. You talked about Evelyn non-stop last season before y'all even sat together and apologized. You were talking about her. Now that she's talking about you, you want to be all butthurt and try to force her to get up and do impersonations of you in front of everyone else. Like, bitch, she ain't got to do that shit. Like, and that's one thing that always killed me about Tammy. Like, you were doing the same shit to Evelyn that you want to bully Mika and Keisha for the entire season of, what, 3 and 4, no, 2 and 3, you literally did the same thing to her that you claim that they did to you, which was talking about you behind your back. So that's one thing. Like, I like Tammy. She was my favorite on her first season, but shit like that always bothered me, because it's like, how are you exempt, you know, when you talk about people behind their backs, but when you do it, it's okay? And literally, you talk a lot of shit, so I just never really understood that. But like I said, Tammy doesn't make a lot of sense anyway. Like, she doesn't. Like, and it just kills me how educated she tries to seem in, like, in her commentaries or in her interviews. I was like, bitch, you're not educated at all. You're still a hood rat from where? Brooklyn? Somewhere in New York. It's all the same to me. Whatever. With that being said, so they acknowledged that they were not gonna be friends. Like, it was just a wrap. So we'll see, like, they're gonna continue to clash, and I can't wait. But this next episode, they're still on the CC shit, and I'm just like, I want CC to go. I mean, to be honest, like, CC, Kristen, and OG can go. It's just like, man, who the fuck are y'all hiring? Like, these bitches are all born. CC's crying because of some jokes that they made of her giving happy endings, happily ever afters, or whatever goofy fairy tale shit. And I don't want to see bitches who gonna cry. I want to see bitches who gonna curse these bitches out and throw drinks at them. Like, come on. Get these boring, sensitive ass bitches. Like, come on, bring some bitches who on the show who ready to fight. Like, bring some ignorant bitches who just want to fight, period. Like, on site. Let's do that. Bring some bitches from Black Ink Crew, New York, on the show, and let's just see how they mix in. Let's do that. Because you get these sensitive ass bitches who crying throughout the show, and then next season they're not even going to be here. Like, let's stop with that. It just makes the shit boring. Like, you all should not continue to bring these new bitches into the show, and we're still only concerned with the beef between bitches who've been on the show since the show's inception. Like, come on now. That's ridiculous. Really, what's the point? They got rid of Sania. I think her name was Sania. They got rid of motherfucking Hazel. They got rid of all the bitches from last show to bring in these new bitches. Like, this shit is so repetitive. I'm tired of seeing it. But anyway, those are my thoughts on this episode of Basketball Wives, episode 4. I will be back to talk about 5. I will be back to talk about the rest of the season. I will be back to talk about Black Ink Crew. I will be back. So, y'all just wrote the Maverick. Peace.